This is an instructional video about working in Loft 2.0. The first thing that you need to do before starting working in Loft 2.0 is add your SDO account as a new person in Chrome and use that to access the platform. A detailed instruction on how to do this can be found in a different video. After you added the SDO account as a new person, the only thing that you need to do to get a task is to paste the link to the platform in the address bar. You hit enter and your task loads. Unlike in Loft 1.0, you don't need a task ID to access the task. Instead, a task is automatically loaded for you when you open the platform. As soon as the task loads, you need to park the task. Parking the task can be done by clicking this button here. Remember to always choose the second option when prompted in this window here. You click park and your task is parked. You always need to do this because if you don't and accidentally refresh the page, or if you close the page and open it again, you will be assigned a new task and your progress on the previous task will be lost. In order to access the task you've already parked, you click on the parking lot and you select your task here. After you've successfully parked the task, you can start working. In order to be the most efficient, you should get to know the shortcuts. And the list of shortcuts can be found by clicking on this little keyboard icon here. Here is the entire list of shortcuts that are available for you. Next to the list of shortcuts is this little exclamation mark in a circle, which is the link to the user guidelines. You can see that immediately you're prompted with this link for Loft 2.0 guidelines. You need to read these guidelines in their entirety before starting work on your first task in Loft 2.0. One very useful thing to do in the platform is to use the Ctrl and minus buttons at the same time to decrease the size of the window, and by that you increase the size of the canvas you can be working in. Another useful thing to do to further increase the size of your canvas is to click this little button here, which maximizes your work area. One of the biggest differences between Loft 1.0 and Loft 2.0 is the fact that 2.0, the waveform, is horizontal instead of vertical in Loft 1.0. That means that navigating through the audio is a little bit different. Moving through the audio is possible in three different ways. You can click on the waveform, and by clicking, you're taken to that exact timestamp in the task. You can see that. And when I click here, the waveform moves and the cursor is placed at the point where I clicked. You can move through the task by sliding this slider here, and it will take you back and forth in the task. And if you're working on a laptop, you can use the gestures on the trackpad to move slightly forward or backwards in the task. That will be all regarding the basics of working in Loft 2.0. It's very important to remember that all the rules regarding segmentation and transcription apply to Loft 2.0 just the same as they do to Loft 1.0.